Hi everyone, it's Matt from BRRRRM Australia. We're here at Wakefield Park on a nice sunny day. We're here for Geoff Fear from Hyundai N Performance. We've had a few laps on the track and we thought we'd have a bit of a chat about some of the technical aspects of this fantastic vehicle. So thanks for your time,
No
Geoff.
problem at all.
We've had a few laps, all the three dads, and firstly love the car.
Good to hear.
One of the things that stood out from me, both from our initial drive and review on the vehicle and now on the track, is the suspension tuning.
Yep. So the Australian tune, as opposed to the rest of the world, the global market, is softer. We've got coarser roads, we've got rougher roads, we've got more conditions, potholes, seams in roads, road surface types. We've got multiple surface types, so we had to soften it up a little bit. Same springs, same sway bars, so the hardware is the same, but the shock tune internal. Just give it a little bit more plush for our roads. And also the electronic tune of it, the software side, is tuned differently as well, allow a little bit more body roll. So in Europe on the autobahns and the high-speed roads, they've stabilised or firmed the car body roll firmer. We allow a bit more roll, a bit more weight transfer.
And I've definitely noticed that, especially on the street and also now on the track. And I've noticed that even when we were following you around the track, you were quite, I guess, liberal with the way that you use the curbs, even cocking up the back wheel.
Yep.
And even saw maybe there were two wheels off the ground at one point.
Quite possible.
So yeah, I did notice, and for all the viewers, that the suspension tune on this is fantastic, and the way that it rides those curves when you do go on the track, it really is fantastic. And the weight transfer seems to be very compliant to that.
Yep. No, that's the beauty with the electronic shocks. The shock control is fantastic, so you can actually get a bit of ripple strip, and it takes care of it all for you.
Yeah,
great,
brilliant. So another thing, Geoff, that I noticed that stood out as a feature are the brakes of the car.
Yep.
I've been in quite a few different cars that are more street cars, and you take on the track and the brakes just aren't up to the task. But it looks like this car is well equipped with brakes that can handle many laps at a track.
So the brakes are a sliding caliper, single piston, 348mm front disc, 30mm thick. It's got a street pad that works on the track. It's a lot of development went into finding a pad that would still work cold and work adequately on the factory tyres, on the production tyres on the track, and they don't fade, they don't knock off, they're perfect. The compound occasionally might make a tiny little bit of noise, but today you haven't heard any of it. Most race pads are noisy, grindy, cold, don't work. Hyundai has done an absolutely amazing job picking this compound. It works every situation.
Yeah. The next
step is, if you were to go to a track tyre, a semi-slick or a slick tyre, an aggressive driver, a big breaker, then yeah, you need to bring the pad to the next step. So in-house there are pads available. They've been testing with. And so if you do want to get more serious, you can overstep the mark, because it is a street car, it's a street pad. But it's a long way before you get to that point, and we've only found a couple of drivers that really feel that they need to go to the next pad.
It's very impressive, really impressive. Good. I think we've done a total of, maybe 40 laps around Wakefield Park today, and they're just rock solid. You lean on the pedal, there's good feedback, they modulate well. When you come off the pedal, there's great feedback, and they've got a nice amount of bite as well to that, and not too much dust either, which is impressive.
Surprising.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Now, from an aero perspective, and we'll probably have to show this camera angle, another angle, but there's also a wing on the back there.
Yep. And it was tested for downforce. It is a proper wing. It does work. Yeah. They play with a few different models. We didn't get to see the wing, each development model unwrapped. We had them all under camouflage. Even in-house in Australia, the finer details of the car were hidden from us. You know, there's only very few people in head office that got to go to Korea or Germany to see it. So, but yeah, this was the final product, and it was tested. It does work. It's not there just to look pretty, even though it looks fantastic. It's a proper wing.
I think it's great.
Yep.
Especially the side profile, you can see that, and
yep.
Knowing that it's a functional wing is also another great feature of this car. Just love it. Another feature that I've also noticed are the seats. They're not only heated seats, but they're very supportive as well.
Yeah.
So another great feature as well is the driving position. So all those things add up to a comfortable experience on the street, but also something that's functional on the track.
Yep.
Are there any other sort of, I guess, aspects that that you're working towards as a product from Hyundai N division that you're able to tell us about? I know there's a lot of secret squirrel things in the works.
There's all sorts of things we're trying to develop for the car. There's always things we're going to ask head office for, but it's got to be a global thing. These cars have got to suit a global market. Price, it's a big factor. We want a car that almost everyone can afford. Like, you know, we don't want a car that's out of reach for most people.
Yeah.
So we can't overdevelop in that. As you go to the next step of, say, for instance, I'd love another 100 horsepower. We all would. Everyone wants another 100 horsepower. Then you've got to look at, okay, now are the brakes there? So we've got to change the pads and we've got to redevelop again. Then also intercooler, is there, where do you stop and where does the cost stop?
Yeah.
So we think the package is perfect. If anything, maybe you could do more with suspension, because everything's always under development with suspension. You can always go a little bit better, and even when you finish 2 weeks later, you think, no, I think we can go a little bit better. So suspension is probably where I'd love to work more on, but it's great as it is.
Absolutely.
It doesn't feel like it needs it.
I agree, and as I mentioned before in our review, you've hit the sweet spot with your target audience. It's a car that can do everything for such a wide range of audience. So fantastic, well done. And Geoff, thanks very much for your time today.
Do you mind if I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
So you've driven down here, it's a couple of 100 kilometres down.
Yes.
You've been out of the car all day. You're going to have to drive home. Are you pleased you're in this, or you wish you had something else to drive home in?
Well, I was actually thinking about that, and we were debating who gets the front seats, who gets the back.
Yep.
And because it's such a comfortable car, I've already nominated the back seat so I can have a sleep on the way home. So that gives you a bit of insight as to how flexible and how much of a great all-round vehicle this will. And I know I'm going to have a nice, comfortable sleep while the other guys are driving. So it's a car that does everything. No,
it's one of the things we're really proud of. You can drive to the track, you can run all day, and driving home's not a chore. It's just a car, you can just jump in and do whatever you want. Yeah,
when you hit that end button, it just comes alive. So well done.
Again, thank you.
Thanks very much, Geoff.
Cheers.
Thanks for your time.